not too long ago, we took a look at the Thrunite Catapult V6 little mini thrower. Well, you may know that Thrunite is also kind of associated in handling some engineering and technical stuff for Wowtac flashlights, who traditionally put out a little bit lower priced product. Well, they've just sent me this Wowtac A4, which is also a small kind of compact thrower. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to compare the Wowtac A4 with the Thrunite Catapult V6. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. So the folks at Wowtac and Thrunite, and they're connected somehow, I'm not really sure. But anyway, they were kind enough to send me these flashlights, both these flashlights over the last few months, and to sponsor this video, and I really appreciate that. So what I thought we'd do is, since there are a lot of similarities between these two lights, as you can see, and also a few differences, I just thought it might be a cool idea to compare the two. So like I said, this is stuff for regular folks, so I know some people really take their flashlight data and information really seriously, and I don't have candle power measures and all that sort of thing, but I'm just going to give you the real world comparison between these two flashlights. And let me start off with the specs of both of these, and we'll go into like the just kind of what I see as the differences and similarities. We'll do some night shots, show you how well these things perform in the actual dark, and we'll wrap this up with at least hopefully a a minimal amount of rambling. So let's get started. So first of all, I've got my handy dandy notebook here, as Mr. Steve would say, and I'm just going to prop it on the old tripod here so I can refer to it unobtrusively. I believe that's the right word. So anyway, both these flashlights are billed as a thrower style flashlight, and let's just talk about the specs, and then we'll get down to the nitty gritty. So first of all, both these flashlights feature a Cree HXP35 HI LED for a throw distance of 750 meters. They both, actually to me, the heads look almost exactly the same. They've got very clear glass lenses, they've got very smooth reflectors, same LED, same diameter heads. I mean, they look like there's from this point up, they look like they're the same. Okay, so there's that. Lumens difference is the A4 is 2,000 lumens maximum, and the Catapult V6 is 1,700 lumens maximum. So a little bit of difference there. Honestly, I don't think you'll be able to see much of a difference in the real world. I can't, and you'll see that on the night shots. One of the main differences is the Catapult V6 uses a 26650 battery, one of these fat 26650 batteries, 5,000 mAh, and the battery is included with the flashlight when you purchase it. And the A4 from Wowtac uses two 18650s, which I've got Wowtac ones in here right now, and they are not included with the flashlight. So you're either going to have your own batteries, or you're going to have to buy some batteries to go with it. The other main difference is the Thrunite is USB rechargeable. It's got a USB rechargeable port right here, like so, and the Wowtac is not. The Wowtac, you have to recharge the batteries, so you have to have a separate battery charger. So there's that. Both of them are IPX8 water resistant. Both of them are 1.5 meter drop rated, whatever that means. My experience is, if you start dropping these kind of high-tech flashlights, they may or may not last, and that's just the way it goes. No matter how they're rated, that's just a testing thing. I'm not going to beat these things all up. I've dropped plenty of them in the past. Occasionally I've broken one. You know, that stuff happens. They're pretty much high-tech electronic devices at this point. This ain't your daddy's Maglite, okay? So the other levels, other than the maximum, are almost essentially the same. They go from 0.5 lumens to 22 lumens to 180 lumens to 950 to a strobe. They both have the same stuff there. A little bit of difference on the length of these. As you can see, the Thrunite is shorter and fatter, and the Wowtac is longer and skinnier. But you can see the difference. This thing is about 6 inches by about 1 inch in diameter, and this one is about we'll call it 7.5 inches, 8 inches by about 3/4 of an inch in diameter here. Like I said, the heads are essentially From about this point forward, they're essentially the same. Another main difference is the Thrunite comes with a holster and a lanyard, and the Wowtac does not. They both come with extra O-rings and cap covers and stuff like that. And then the other main difference is the Thrunite is about $74.99. The Wowtac is $49.95. So 25 bucks difference in price. Of course, you got to factor in the price of batteries if you don't have them. So the other thing you got to do, I guess you have to decide if the holster and the battery. Let's see if we can turn that thing on. Oh my gosh, I just blinded myself. I think the sun was shining on that LED and I thought it was burning. Oh man, that's not a smart thing to do. So anyway, you got to factor in the cost of the, if you think the holster and lanyard and the battery's worth 25 bucks to you, and just which one you like the most. So anyway, that's a comparison of the specs. Again, as far as specs go, the differences are, this one's about 300 lumens brighter, which at that point, I'm not so sure that makes a big difference. And you can judge for yourself when you look at the night shots. Obviously, there's a size difference here. This one's longer and skinnier, and it costs a little less, and it doesn't have a battery or rechargeability. So, rechargeability, did I just make a new word? Anyway, I'm rambling already, so let's cut to the night shots. You can take a look at how these things perform at night, and you can decide for yourself if that 300 lumens makes a big difference in the perceived brightness. And then we'll come back and wrap this up. We're going to start with the Wowtac A4, then we'll do the Catapult V6, and then we'll do them together just to compare them. So first of all, take a look at the Firefly mode and at the A4, and as you can see, even at 0.5 lumens, it is still a pretty focused spot. Try to focus in on this. I can read it pretty well at the camera focus, but you can see it's a pretty bright spot there, even at the Firefly. And that's good. We're going to be, again, 41 days. And I think you can see that. Maybe you can see it now. The next level is going to be 22 lumens, good for 62 hours. We hold that up, even at 22 lumens, you can see it's a very focused little spot out there. As you get down close to that's probably 15 feet, you can see it on the grass, it's really focused. But if you go out into the distance, even there's the old submersion evaluation assembly, you can see just a really focused little spotlight there. Go to the next level is 180 lumens. It's going to be good for 9 hours. And you can see again, pretty good bit, a little bit of overspill there. You can see around out here, but still pretty focused as a beam. And it's only about 25 yards away there. This is 180 lumens, good for 9 hours. Next level is going to be 950 lumens, and I think we'll have to cycle back through. So we go back to low, medium, high, and those 950 lumens, good for 165 minutes. And you can see it just stabs out there, and it's really bright. It almost even washes out down there. And a pretty good bit of overspill, so you can kind of see around the edges here, pretty good, but it's very, very focused beam. The next level is going to be the turbo with the 1700 lumens, and we just double click it to get to the turbo. And there's the turbo, and that again is 1700 lumens, good for 150 minutes. And you can see you can see the beam there. It's just like almost like a lightsaber there. And if a strobe bothers you, we're going to try just do the strobe alert. It's 1200 lumens. It's good for 180 minutes. There's the strobe, a very fast strobe. Okay, so I'll turn it back on. You can see it goes back to the high. That's the last one that the memory is able to lock onto. And just to show you, take a look up in the trees up here. You can see it's just a very, very bright spot. It just goes a long way up there. So that's the A4. We'll run through the Catapult V6 separately, and then we'll show them to you together. We got the Catapult V6 here, and we'll do the Firefly on that. Same thing, you can see it's got a, again, that's 0.5 lumens, and that's good for 41 days. And you can see that it still focuses it down pretty tightly. The next level is going to be 22 lumens, good for 62 hours. And the same thing, but as you see, also it goes out into the distance pretty good. Next level after that is 180 lumens, good for 9 hours. Just let it focus up to there, and there's 180 lumens. Focus, grasshopper. The next level up again is the 950. We'll cycle through that, let it get to the 950 just to show you. There's the 950, and that's the high, and you can see pretty good. Go back to the turbo, and once again, pretty good overspill there. This overspill on this one may be a little better than on the Wowtac. And then we have strobe, again, 1200 lumens. Strobe alert, to go. So now let's just compare the two. We can take a look at them together. The on the left, this is the Thrunite on high, and this next one is the Wowtac on high. And you can see very, very, very close to similar. I can't really see much of a difference. If you go to turbo on both of them, see if you can tell the difference there. And so the one on the right is the Wowtac, and it's actually a little brighter. It's like 300 more lumens. But other than that, I mean, the beam pattern is essentially the same. The brightness is essentially the same. There's the Thrunite at 1700 lumens. There's the Wowtac at 2000, and I can't tell much of a difference. Let's shine them up in the sky just so you can see. I mean, these are like little mini searchlights here, actually, so you can see. I mean, they just look the same to me. Honestly, I can't tell much difference at all. I mean, there's the beams, the lights. Looks like a Hollywood theater opening, right? So, anyway, that's the Thrunite Catapult V6 and the Wowtac A4. Okay, well, that was the night shots, and as I hope you could see, I really couldn't tell a whole lot of difference in brightness. Honestly, to me, and it may be just subjective, because it looks like they have exactly the same head on them. The Thrunite seems to actually throw a little bit wider spot at the same distance. I don't know. I couldn't, honestly, between 1700 and 2000 lumens, I personally can't see much of a difference, if any. It's hard, you know, your mind starts playing tricks on you when you're looking for differences like that, I know, but they both really do a great job of throwing a focused beam of light out there, but there's enough overspill that they do light up a pretty wide area too. So anyway, I hope that helps. If you have a need for a light that'll really reach out there and touch somebody, I think either one of these could be a good choice. Again, just to recap, what I see is the main significant differences. Obviously the price, this is about 75 bucks, this is about 50 bucks, but for that extra $25 you do get a holster, a lanyard, a battery, and the ability to recharge it with a micro USB, and it comes with a little micro USB cable. This one's $25 less, but you have to buy your own batteries or have your own batteries, and there's no holster or anything like that, and it's not rechargeable with a USB. So they both perform, in my opinion, almost the same. I mean, the specs are just really and truly so close. It's other than the total lumens, and again, I couldn't really see anything in there. So hopefully, if you've been considering one of these flashlights, this has helped you make a decision. I hope it's been helpful. Once again, thanks to the folks at both Wowtac and Thrunite for sending me these flashlights so I can show them to you, and for sponsoring this video. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. I put out a brand new video every Friday and Saturday, and very often random videos throughout the week. You can check out another one right there. And if you're not subscribed, please click down in the corner right there. Click that little notification bell so you don't miss a single video. I really appreciate the support. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.